right. Oh, God. How is this gonna... Okay. Fuck. Okay. Oh, it's in my eyes. It's in my eyes. Okay. Oh, I don't want to, but I gotta do the thing.
I'm gonna be so freaking warm. God damn you, Halloween. I love you so much.
Alrighty. Spooky frights and all that. Oh, my eyes. Is this all messed up? I don't know. Alrighty. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Oh, the hair is getting in my ears. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How are you? This has been a time. 'Tis the season, my dudes. Anyways, yes. So this is a game that has a Halloween update. It is around Halloween, and your boy loves Halloween more than sometimes even Christmas. So that's what it is. It is par for the course, so to speak. But, ladies and gentlemen, today we are just going to be rambling about the free Halloween update. And that, to me, really, it's a solid argument, which is the idea that, how do you feel about the Gearbox's, this is really loud, how do you feel about Gearbox's update? Do you think it's amazing? Why? And ultimately, my response is, well, it's free, so it's kind of one of those things. So yeah, Blood Harvest, thoughts about it. Again, the big thing for me is that it is free. And that's an argument that I've heard many people say to contest any opinion on it, basically, that's not like, oh, it's a free update, so it didn't really reach a certain threshold, but it's free, so who cares? But the only thing I have heard an argument for, which I kind of to a certain degree agree with, is the Headhunter packs that existed in Borderlands 2 were paid for. And I'd be fine with paying for them. They were like, I think $4 or $5 for like a good 2 hours of just goofy fun. Whereas this one, well, again, so to reestablish, it's a free update. So every opinion is kind of like, well, this is them testing the water. That's also the first update. There's plenty of reasons why why things went the way they did, and etc. Maybe you love the update. I thought it was fun. Thought it was pretty good for a good 20 minutes, and then I was like, okay, well, having played Borderlands 2. I feel like there was much better things, much better executions of this kind of idea. My main issue, and I kind of echoed it in that one video, is I really dislike the way that they handled this. Ooh, we want to kill you ASAP. Okay, so what do you mean by that? What do you mean they handled it in this kind of way? Oh, we gotta kill that thing. That's the whole point of it. Oh, they did, and he dropped the spooky fright weapon. Oh, actually, I think I already had that before, but neat. Even though, whatever, neat. We'll pick that up in a minute. Also, my emotions are tempered by the fact that they kind of killed Moze a little bit. Okay, how about this? Because this isn't really working. The gameplay is happening in the background, and I just want to rant and rave at you guys. Okay, so thoughts on the DLC. Again, I very much just enjoy Halloween tremendously, hence why this is kind of like a weird thing for me. But the thing that I am absolutely frustrated by, and my criticism for the whole thing, some whole of it, is that to me, Gearbox has been doing such an amazing job at listening to the community and understanding a causality between two things. So for instance, there's like, oh, a lot of the new updates and patches, they are said that they're going to stop nerfing weapons, and then instead they're just going to be buffing up the ones that are really just trash in general. It can't even survive on Mayhem 2 or 1 for that matter. So that's kind of nice. The community was starting to get negative. The fact that every time they had a build, it got nerfed, and every time they farmed for a weapon, it would eventually go unfarmed, and there was no real way to also farm for weapons. So the community had tons of criticisms, and Gearbox has done a great job about in the coming patches updating those and making those less of a problem, hopefully. We don't know to what extent they'll update them in, but hopefully it's quite a bit and fixes the problems that the community has with the game. But my problem with Blood Harvest is that it feels super not that. It feels like everything that was not that. So again, one of the things that the Borderlands community is doing constantly, and you always see this, is why on earth are so many people farming Trant and Grave Ward? What's going on there? Oh, it's because they have no immune phases. So for farming, which is what your community has always done, they find the path of least resistance to get them to their goal, of course, and it's the most effective path. So smart on them for having that insight. Cool. All right, so here's this new event. It's going to be Halloween based, and we're going to have a boss. And we're going to have this boss have 3 immune states. Okay, kind of goes against why people farm Trant and Grave Ward, but sure. It's not the worst. It's not a Grave Ward where they're sitting there with the thumb up their ass until they evolve or whatever, right? It's where, nope, these 2 pyres come up and you have, or 3 or 4 glowing skulls come up and you gotta shoot those skulls. Well, they're kind of spread out the map, so you're basically waiting all the time, but at least you're not just sitting there waiting to do damage. You're able to shoot these things, even though it takes some time for them to queue in. There's an argument to be made that there's no real time difference. Anyways, they're sure. I don't even mind that part too much. I just, again, that's something that you should realize as a creator, of a content creator. If the reason why people are drawn to this thing, you should analyze why they're drawn to that thing and realize, oh, it's because they have no invincibility windows. Cool, and we'll jump there. Like, to me, I would much, like, at least if there was going to be an invincibility window, they should take you to another, like, plane of existence, so at least it makes sense. So you nerf a person down to nothing, and instead of them just basically being fully hollowed shield and you can't do anything, and you gotta look around like, what the fuck do I do now? Oh, I gotta go pop a balloon. Great, and then the shield's unlocked. Why was this needed? Why was this 1, 2, 3 needed? It wasn't challenging. Anyways, my other issue, again, it's not my favorite, but it's not something that ruins the event. To me, the other thing that ruins the event is innately what Borderlands has always been, especially within the hardcore fan base and people who play this game concurrently, is farming bosses. Grave Ward and Trant is the ones I just mentioned, and we try to find the chorus of least resistance. Awesome. But then they have this new event where you have to like dedicate at least 20 hours to meaningless nothingness just to maybe get a legendary at the end. And Trant has, I'm sorry, they said they've increased the drop chance for Trants. I call bullshit. I found very little coming from Trant. You should not be able to say, I increased the drop chance for this boss, which takes at least 15 minutes to get all the souls and all that stuff, and then fight him, and then still get blues and purples. Or just, I just got a run where it was all blues. We streamed and I got all that shit, and I was just like, what the fuck? And I'm running Mayhem 3 with loaded dice, which increases your drop chance, and my badass rank is all into luck. So it doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense when that's the issue you're feeling, or cards you're being dealt. And again, I would have no problem with this if Trant was, or Haunt, sorry, I always get them mixed up, forgive me. Haunt was just a boss that you just fight. You reload the save point, like, again, that's how all boss, I have just innately bad luck, so I don't get very good drop chances most of the time. So I'm used to that. But you know the best thing, if you keep getting, you keep flipping the coin, you get nothing, being able to flip the coin again fast, and faster, and faster, and micromanaging it, and then being able to do this 3 times. So maybe you don't have the greatest luck in the world, but boy howdy are you good at flipping that coin. So yeah, my thing I don't like is the invincibility frames, and the idea that instead of the whole compression farming, which is what everyone does, which is, I want to beat this boss, I like this new boss, it's interesting, I want to beat him, he has a bunch of new attack patterns, that's kind of fun. Instead of, well, how about we don't do any of that? How about we just throttle you completely and say, hey, go hunt for 20 souls? And it would be different if there was, I don't know, if when you picked up a soul you gained a currency, and when you gained that currency there was a chance for you to just open what do you call it? Open the portal. So at least then you could just go in and out, in and out, in and out. You could just farm ghosts until you have like 1,000 souls, and then just blitz through the Trant phases. But no, it's specifically like, no. After you kill him, go do something else and go run, or like go completely stop what you're doing, go farm these enemies. And also it's weird, the ghosts, it's like I God forbid Amara goes in there because she's melee based, and if they are on you, they're on you, unless a badass equivalent is that way. But even then, what the heck? Basically the way you're getting souls is not very friendly to all players, or all characters. Then again, very few people run full melee on Amara, but still. So that's my only real criticism with the game, is just that it feels like it's such an undersight from what the community does and how they want it. And it's weird because I've seen certain streamers who play Borderlands and whatnot when I pop into their streams, because I do like watching Twitch and all that stuff. What do you call it? They were like, this is good. But it's like, to me, it's the Destiny conundrum, where they, like, how do I say it? Basically, streamers play the game all day, because it's their job, and they can literally do this all day. But then they get mad when they get to endgame in like 2 days, but they've played it all day. And as a normal consumer who can't play all day, you are completely throttled, because they're the highest vocal majority, because they're constantly preaching to their fan base about these things, and then it gets weirdly shifted in that direction, and you're like, whoa, you're scaling the drop chance off of a person that can play all day, not your base player base. So the drop chance is just shit. in comparison. So some streamers are like, this is great. You know, I gotta do something all day, and it's like, I can't do this all day. Yeah, but with that being said, the event is elongated, but it's also not mentally satisfying. You know, whereas you farm a boss, you farm a boss, you farm a boss. Oh fuck! Oh, look, a legendary dropped. That's a little bit of dopamine in the brain, so it cues that up again. Where it's like, I just beat a boss, got nothing. Alright, well let me go collect souls. Collected souls for 15 minutes for no reason. Cool. It's the only boss that requires me to have that much of a time window to do another farm. Cool. Good to go there. I have to move through this entire level again. Alright. There's chances of getting a loot ghost to drop, which sure, but very low chance, and still it's not like I can control the chance of me fighting an enemy that's eligible to drop me something good. So oftentimes I don't. Anyways, 2 hours go by and I haven't got shit. And then I feel like, what the fuck is happening? This feels horrible. So to me, again, it's a bunch of undersights for how the community actually plays the game. Also, we were trying to do like a terror build, and the terror, also that's another thing. It seems like the terror effects are very sectioned to like 2 characters. I've seen one for Flak, and I've seen one for Amara, and maybe I'm just getting unlucky. That's always the case, always has a chance of being the case. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe they just increased the drop chances again, because yeah, now I'm starting to get something. I got two gold ghosts. That hasn't happened in eons, so that's good at least. Maybe they've patched it or something or whatnot. I do believe this is a terror sniper that I actually did get to drop, but it was so kind of blech that I didn't even give it a chance, because it was kind of black, you know? Yes, this one, the husk, whatever. So there was 2 guns that dropped, weirdly enough, even though Gearbox said that wasn't the case. A special effect is heals you for the amount of terror, yeah, but it also takes away terror, so it's not good as well. But yeah, basically the terror effects seem woefully meh. They don't seem that like build worthy. I haven't seen the fire rate be that good. I guess it's good because it's just on top of it, but there's still things like that Amara can get, where it gives you 300% weapon damage on an action skill use, and I'm like, what? That's 300 damage buff for 10 seconds, which is, they say a short time. My ass is a short time, 10 seconds. Yeah, so I don't know, stuff like that where I'm like, what? Like, and then Moze, for instance, Moze gets fucking nothing. Moze gets like, she can do the one where her after action skill she gets 100 damage, which is not bad, but those effects are rare as hell. And to have the loot pool kind of like blech with all these terror mods that are kind of just fine. Like, nothing I've seen, like, there's one that says gives you an extra projectile when firing. That's fine. That's okay. Doesn't seem great. It definitely doesn't seem great. Yeah. And again, I really, really do like the Halloween theme, and that's another argument I've heard that's pretty good. Why can't we own this? Why does this have to go away after a certain time? Like, why can't, after the event ends, it just sticks around, and if anyone wants to go farm Trant, they can. You know, instead of it being the super specific event time window. Like, I don't know if they're trying to cause, like, do demand or whatever, you know, like cause some demand for their DLC, so you have to get in and play it. But I mean, I don't know, I could see them doing that with, like, you can only get these legendaries at this time, but not just being able to fight a fun boss, you know? So that's another thing, is that people were like, well, why can't I, like, the Headhunter packs in Borderlands 2, you fully owned. Also, did they fix the grenade regen with Moze? They did not. They did not. The only reason why it's doing really good though is because I have my ogre, and my ogre kind of basically fixes the problems that exist within the non-regeneration of grenades issues, which also like Moze got hammered, and that's another thing that to me is not endearing. Is when they're like, hey, we're gonna stop patching or nerfing the game, and I don't think I've heard anyone say that like it wasn't their intention. Maybe they didn't even intentionally try to nerf Moze's grenade regen. I don't know. I don't want to say anything too much, but it was a big shit sandwich to enter into the game and be like, oh, Moze got a tremendous nerf again. Great. And they didn't really articulate that to us. So it's like, wait, you said you were going to nerf anything, and now you nerfed something but didn't tell anybody. So I'm hoping this is just really bad timing, and I hope it is. Who knows? But we got enough souls. I'm not even going to finish this encounter because it just seems woefully useless. So let's go to Sanctuary and go and kill Trant once again. But again, free event. So that's a fair argument. You didn't pay anything for it, just came with addition. And again, it's not a bad first like DLC. Like most games are just like, cool, you got the base game, have fun. Like most games wouldn't even do this. But to me, again, I was just like really in love with the fact that Gearbox is really feeling like they got a finger on the pulse when it comes to the community. Like they know what they want, they're listening and all those things. And maybe again, it takes probably a couple months to a year, maybe even to make a DLC like this. So maybe that's the thing, is that they were working on that beforehand, where like the team who made this were already under the impression of, hey, every other boss has immune phases, and I don't know why they would make this like thing you always have to push through. Like again, the heck hole where you have to run all the way through it all the time. Again, I wouldn't have an issue with it if you didn't have, like, one or the other. I shouldn't have to collect souls, waste time doing that nonsense bullshit, to only basically have to run through another level to do more nonsense bullshit, and you can't, like, speed clip it or out. You know, like, that's the thing with Borderlands. Everyone wants to be the most optimal person possible, and when you're gated like this, it's super not a good feeling. At least to me. It's not the worst. It's not great. It's not great. It's not bad. It's not the worst. It's just not ideal. The Keymaster, boom. And that's the other thing, like, I think this is beautiful. Like, this map is wonderful. Love it, love the Halloween music. Every aesthetic is awesome, and I just, like, to me, it's not an issue with, what do you call it, with the Gearbox being bad designers. It's just a bad mechanical choice. Again, to have to, like, run through this entire level. Or not even that. I would be fine with running through the level. I think it's a pretty level. But, I have an issue with, like, having to harvest souls and forcibly making the player have all these stop gates. Yeah, it's not great. It doesn't feel like you're being effective. You're just like, oh, there's more enemies just to push through, and none of them give me what I want, really. Besides the one potential really low chance of getting a gold one to spawn, you know. On a side note, some good news. Some good news is, but yeah. So I got every Halloween or legendary drop in the thing. That's probably why I'm so jaded, is because it is just like a fucking slog. But this is the new special shield, Scream of Terror. When it breaks, you pop a Nova. This one's a Cold Nova, and deals 14 damage. Just kind of fine. Just fine. Doesn't seem to be the greatest. Doesn't seem to be the worst. It's just a Nova shield. Not a good one at that, but still just a Nova shield. And then the shotgun. The shotgun's not the worst. We should use a shotgun, actually. It's not great. It's not bad. But what is pretty great is the grenade, which is why I was trying to get it. But the thing, that's also another thing. Again, the whole reason why people play your game. One of the reasons why people play your game, with the charm and then the funny quests and all these things. Sorry. How people replay your game is a better way of phrasing it. The reason why people replay your game so often, or just keep playing it and doing the same thing over and over again, is to get a better equivalent of anything. This is like the Hex conundrum, where people, this is awesome. This is a brilliant thing for a weapon, because alone, when it's just Hex, it's just kind of a good grenade. Just decent, not great. But when you get the Merv equivalent on it, it gets fucking insane, and people love it to pieces. And then, when you get something like the reoccurring Hex, which is like the gold mine. If you're able to get this, you're able to just have a grenade on any character that's going to rip apart the world. And of course, they nerf it, but still. It creates this fire under the community. Be like, oh shit, I need that for my build. I bet it would work really, really well. And that, especially in context of the Hex, could be used for anything. Like Moze aside, who can regenerate grenades, it could be used for flak, it could be used for anybody. Mara, who does insane elemental damage, and these grenades specialize in that. Nutty craziness, right? Awesome. But then they have these weapons, which I'm pretty sure all of the legendary weapons are like set in stone. Like, I'm not sure if you can get like a special barrel that really changes the way this whole thing works. Not a barrel, but like a sight or a handle or a magazine size or whatever. I think the only thing that can change is the terror buff that's applied onto it. And same with this one. The Ghost Call. It is a fantastically insane grenade that just screams insanity, and it's lovely. I'll show it to you guys right here, as well as the shotgun. But you can't get it in any sort of like cloning prefix, which means you can't have multiple. And I would rather, honestly, have them tone down the damage and you be eligible to get something like anywhere from trash to amazing, as long as it has that kind of window. Yeah, you throw this grenade and it spawns a vortex that constantly keeps spawning these heads, which is wicked and crazy, and just such a neat idea for a shield in general. Also, this fires 4 darts that deal good damage and then they explode, which is why it's pretty good with Moze. But I am failing greatly. Can you quickly explode? Thank you. Throw some more grenades. I mean, I switched to my ogre because we're not able to regenerate grenades that consistently. And also, I don't think I heal through these grenades. Yeah, because Moze is broken for right now. Apparently, her healing thing is just not working like it used to. Oh no, we may die. I'm gonna lose so much money. I don't want to reload though, because I don't want to have to run through this whole encounter again. Yeah, the weapons are good, but they're nowhere good as like an ogre. Oh, 14 million down the drain. Anyways, this skill right here, there's a lot of shit. It's messed up because they keep patching Moze. And I'm spec'd for bottomless mag, and the amount of times that this skill gets glitched and just doesn't work anymore, like you're just not regenerating anything, is ridiculous. And the fact that they're like, you know what we should do instead? Break this, which is broken, because I shouldn't be going down because of this. But no, it does not work, basically. For whatever reason, they've like, I mean, it works, but it works like it's not supposed to work. If your grenade hits multiple enemies, you're able to heal for a good amount. But they've broken that to where it's not that much at all. Yeah. Well, and again, the grenade that I'm using is more specialized for like dealing burst damage. And you guys will see when we fight the boss that what it does. You just keep spamming this, like all of your grenades at once. It can get pretty nuts. Or let's just do it with this person. Just keep throwing grenades, even though I'm really weak right now. I got a 5-second window of invincibility, which is why I'm not completely dead. There we go. See? Pretty good. But anyways, it just keeps spawning like 1,000 of these skulls, and you can just create like a vortex of just skull spawning. But yeah, this is also another thing. Let's just do this a bunch. Did I fuck that up? No, I didn't. Those things did not break. Yeah, we can chuck all these, and it's just gonna keep spawning all these skulls to just go nuts. Brilliant, lovely, great choice for grenades. Interesting, different, all those lovely things. Anyways. But it would be cool if you get it like cloning, right? Or something like that. Anyways, green, pink, green, pink, pink, blue. Green, pink, pink, blue. Green, pink, pink, blue. And that opens this. Boop. And then that opens up some extra chests. Nothing crazy. There's not doesn't seem like a high chance of getting Halloween stuff in this one. Well, I mean Halloween terror effects, but not Halloween legendaries and stuff like that. Yeah, my luck is the greatest. Anyways, hi guys, one thing I wanted to clarify really quick. One of the issues I have when it comes to the grenades is I really wish they would have given us the ability to basically have a better equivalent for that to spawn if that wasn't clear. I'm not sure if that got across, but basically that awesome grenade that we got, it would add crazy incentive if there was an amazing version of it, like something that spawned even 2 or 3 of that same grenade. Even if it lowered the damage to a good bit, it would still be like visually satisfying and interesting, but just, there's like, again, I was saying that I'd rather have a grenade that's just kind of okay, or even bad, but has the possibility of being ungodly strong if you're able to find the right prefix in it, because that would reward your player base and also spawn forth plenty of videos of people talking about this grenade and how to and what the prefix you're looking for it in and all that kind of stuff, rather than it just being a base flat always going to be this kind of grenade, which unless I'm mistaken all of the new weapons, shield, all that stuff are. So that is the criticism a little bit there. Again, free update. What do I know? I had the wrong shield mod on. That may have had something to do with it. The reason why things weren't really working out so well. Anyways, let's do this. Also, certain enemies just have like stupid amounts of health. Like especially if you're on Mayhem 3, like this one is just like, what? Like mother of God, this one is just completely stacked. Switch that. I should kill you. It did. Good, it's open. You know, it's not great, and I feel so bad for women, is they have long hair. I can feel it on my neck right now, and it just feels awful. Now, this is stringy, like, horsehair, but still, I imagine human hair would be only a little bit better. Also, I'm so effing warm in this. It's just the hood. The mask is not the worst. Anyways, let's kill Trant, call it good, and call that video where we just jibber-jabbered. But a great deal of thing. Also, apparently Trant's voice wasn't working, so now it is. And honestly, it wasn't necessary. His voice is just okay. He's just kind of a crazy person and whatnot. Boom. My precious souls, bro. How could you? I love them. On the move. Boop and boop. So like, let's try to use the grenades. Let's try to end them that way. You can just see it's just like a vortex. That's not bad. I mean, like, it's pretty good for boss melting. But again, if you were able to get like another version of it, then you'd be like, oh my god. Oh, sorry. From my knowledge, though, I don't think there's any way to get a better version of the one weapon as well. So, you know, we got a legendary though, so maybe they increase the drop chance. But like they said they were going to increase it, and then I didn't notice anything being quite so increased. What is this? Oh, I already got this one. What is it? Gain increased health and fire rate. At least that's something of a better terrified bonus. I guess I should collect that because that's the least shitty one I've seen. Anyways. But yeah, I liked it. I liked it a lot. It helps that it's free, but to me, if I had to pay for it and I got a little bit more and hopefully a lot less of this like tedium, then I'd be fucking so stoked. But don't know if we'll ever attain that, unfortunately. Ooh, greater fire rate on a weapon like this. Sadly, I have no space, and there's no space to put my weapons, but they are also increasing the drop chance of all that stuff. So at least there's that. Anyways, again, anything to walk away. Oh God. This is free, so it could be worse. Nothing really to complain about because it's something that we wouldn't have had without anything, you know. Oh, jeez Louise. Oh, my hair feels gross, and that was just a nightmare to wear that for such a long time. Also, I'm so warm. 'Tis the season, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully, you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Oh no. Yes, again, I enjoyed it. Or one other thing would be cool if it would feel a lot less ridiculously useless for like 90% of the, like, cause all you need to do is kill Trant and get a ghost that's gold to spawn. All the other shit like killing ghosts and all this prep work is awful. And then to only have basically attained money for that cost is also pretty big kick in the dick. Where if this dude had a special chance of dropping any of the like DLC legendaries by completing his quest and then doing it again, then at least that would give more credence to actually doing that, so that we could be in the back of your mind, you're like, okay, well, I'm being 3 times efficient in this way. Whereas it just feels like you are woefully being inefficient by doing it in that way of having to, you know, collect souls, run through the entire encounter, rinse and then kill Trant, and then rinse repeat. You know, it's just like this whole thing of like you haven't trained any of the people to do this. You know, you haven't like gotten your community being used to having to like wait this long just to fight a boss. We're used to fighting bosses instantly. And yeah, it'd be really cool if Haunt actually had the same drop chance as Trant, or vice versa. Sorry, Trant had the same drop chance as Haunt, so you could just farm him if you're not into the whole spooky bullshit. But I doubt they would do that because that would just go to make all the other stuff redundant. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. Again, I enjoyed the update. I just felt like there's a lot of stuff, a lot of missed beats that I felt like they hadn't done in a while. But yeah, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. Hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Subscribe button above me, as well as 2 videos from right. Thank you again, and goodbye.